dawned on me that these quail tunnels that I made for the quail actually might be really good also as a hide for my very picky pet snake Ember. Talk a bit more about that in a minute. I'll just show you a little screenshot here. It's adjustable, right? And so you can adjust the height and the shape and everything, which is actually pretty crucial for something that likes, you know, really low to the ground height. I've had immense difficulty finding something that Ember likes in just your typical reptile hide. In fact, the one that I was showing you earlier, the one that he was hiding under, that came from just nature. I found it out in nature and cleaned it up and everything. You know, made sure nothing harmful or anything was on it before I gave it to him. But I'm sitting here thinking, you know what? Ball pythons are like, you know, really popular pets in the reptile world. You know, why is there a lack of ball python, you know, hides and things? The only thing that you can find that's a decent size typically is plastic. Sometimes you can find a few resin ones, but they're not ideal. Some of the resin ones even have like little lips on them. I can't even explain it. That like poke into the side of the snake, which is uncomfortable for the snake. Really sharp edges that poke into the... So he sometimes will go in a resin one. He hates plastic. I think, you know, as a bay, he just, you know, he got spoiled with nature and he's just really attached to nature. He really likes bark. He really likes wooden things. That's what he likes. And that retains some moisture too, so you have to wonder, being a snake that, you know, is a humid climate snake, if that has anything to do with it. But I think part of it's just that he really prefers something a little more homey and natural. So I thought, you know what, he might like this. It's not technically bark, but it kind of looks like bark. And like I said, it's the perfect width. These just came in the post, so we're going to see which ones fit best. We've got isopods living in the smaller ones, so we're going to try to leave as much of those in there as possible. But we're probably going to do, like, that back gets real foggy due to the moisture and the condensation. What we're going to try to do is we're going to use these little ones as like more of a decoration for the back and maybe the side. Actually, I've also got that thing right there. That is basically just compressed version of raw cork bark. So it's isopods are like this too, and we can use that as part of the backing if that fits. Some of these that the isopods aren't living in, like this one right here, I don't think they're living in. We might just take that out altogether. So let's start getting all this out here. And whatever I can't fit, we're going to just kind of decorate the isopod. Extra isopod terrariums. We've got two that only breed isopods in. So we'll, you know, anything else that doesn't fit, we'll try to put it. Luckily, I think that most of them are living in this one, which is one that I didn't plan on moving anyway, so that's good. Okay, Ember, I'm sorry I have to bother you again. Come on out. I'm just going to let you kind of play around in that for a bit. It's an old cattle rug that I'm repurposing as a blanket. And he, for whatever reason, really likes that, so that'll keep him preoccupied, hopefully, while we do this. So the big one, I misjudged just how big the big one is. It fits perfectly, but doesn't give him an exit. It's front to back completely. You know, don't give him any exit room. So we're gonna have to dig him a little entrance right there. So now he's got a way to get in and out. Don't know if you can see that or not. It's a perfect tight fit. I mean, you can barely close the door, but it's a perfect fit otherwise. So now you see that little opening to the side where the light is. That is his entrance. Not the light in the back, but the light off to the left there. So that's the entrance again. I'm going to try to see if I can. Just trust me, it'll fit. So that flat thing didn't fit, but I was able to kind of use this and that as kind of a stabilization, make the archway stronger so it doesn't slip or slide, so it's better suit to hold, especially if he sits on top of it at night. It'll be better suit to hold his weight without being, you know, squished down, because we've got these two things preventing it from moving out of place. So it does shut all the way. And, you know, this is really the first time that I feel like, you know, his enclosure looks like everything fits, and that it just, you know, that it looks proportionately right. So, to show you the other end of his water dish is way in the back there. It's actually more like a pond, really. Ball pythons love water, so he spends a lot of time in there. So really, yeah, that's going to be all we really need to do. Ember, what are you doing? Look at that, he's hanging on to the tail of the... Okay, do you like oxtail or something? I think you're going to really like it. It's going to be easier for you to move around in, and we'll never outgrow that one. There he goes. I think he likes it. He went straight in it. I don't know, since it's daytime, I don't know if he's going to want to look for the exit or not, but he can fit. Perfect little Ember sized. Got a little bit of wheel room as well too, for when he gets bigger. But I don't think that little exit space, I don't think he'll ever outgrow that either. But if he does, I can always dig it bigger. But he looked at it for a moment, so he knows where it is. He knows how to get out. That's good. Oh yeah, he's gonna want to explore. Oh wait, he almost did. I just saw him peek his head out, so he definitely knows where his little door is. Gonna get him a bit of taking used to, because he's used to having a lot more different ways to get out. I think I might do another right here. Actually, I'm gonna do another door right there. So now we got a second place that he can come out of on that end. I don't know if you can. He was, but there he is. I don't know, it's kind of hard to see, but that little shadow was his head poking out. So yeah, I think he likes it. I think it would be take a bit getting used to and getting his bearings, but he seems to really enjoy it. So yeah, he seems to really enjoy it. Hopefully that will be his new forever setup, and we won't have to worry about anything new. I mean, you know, anything to replace. So you've got a different thing right there that you can come out of now. You can't see it very well, but you can see daylight out that way, and you can see daylight out that way. Whoops, there we go. So those are the two entrances and exits that he has. So it's good to have, better to have one on each end if you can, just, you know, so that they don't panic and think they're trapped or something. But most of the time they'll figure it out. Most of the time, you know, they'll be smart enough to know, even if you only got one entrance. But you know, I think it's, you know, I think that'll do. I think it's better to have two. Give them a choice, you know. Also, it being like that, you know, I can not have to really take anything off of it. I can just, you know, it's opening towards the door, and so all I have to do is reach my hand in there and grab him. I don't have to do a balancing act with taking all these different things up and everything. So that's going to be so much easier just to get him out as well. The only thing I worry about is, you know, is there some daylight through there? Is he going to feel too exposed with the daylight? I don't know. If so, I might put, you know, one of those on directly on top of it, or something, I don't know. He seems to be, you know, liking it enough anyway. And he does have a couple, you know, a bit of playroom in between too. This is not, you know, airtight, so to speak. Sure, if he really wanted to, he could squeeze himself in between the glass and this and get out that way. But I just want to make it easy as possible for him. Let's see, it looks like he might poke his head out that new one that we... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so that's the new one we made. So now he knows where both of them are, so that's good. I really want to test his weight on this thing, because like I said, the bigger one was a bit flimsier, didn't have as strong of a, you know, just he gets his entire body on top of that. Is it gonna, especially if he gets any bigger, and he's almost full grown but not quite, so if he gets his entire body on that thing, is it gonna squish it down? So that's the test we need to really make sure that that is sturdy, especially now because I moved that thing to be able to give him 2 different entrances and exits. So you know, is it gonna especially hold itself up without that thing right there? I don't know. We'll see. He's got only about half of himself on it right now. Well, he's got all his weight on this one side, and that doesn't seem to be buckling at all, even though he's got all of his weight in one spot, so that's good. But I'd really like to see what happens when all of his weight is in the middle. And I don't know if I'll be able to get that footage today or not, but he may decide that he wants to go back in before that happens. We'll see. Well, he seems to like his new tree. Climbing on that, I don't even know if that's gonna... He might he might pull that over if he's not careful. I don't know. I tried to situate it pretty good, but he might be... If he leans back too much, he might pull that on himself. It wouldn't hurt nothing, but still. But now he's got all his weight on top of that thing, on top of this thing. And it doesn't seem to be buckling yet. And he's decided to go back in, so... Doesn't look like I'm going to know for sure till later, but I think, judging by what I've seen thus far, that it's probably going to be strong enough to hold his weight, even at an adult weight. So hopefully we'll never have to get him anything new. It'll just be this, and he'll be able to do that for the rest of his... But yeah, he went right back into it. So I think he's wanting to explore his options, you know, and see everything that's new. That ball pythons tend to really like to survey their environment anytime you change it. So even if you change it during the day, even though they're nocturnal, before they get real settled in, they like to just see, okay, what's new? What did you change on me? So now he's checking out the other exit that I made. All you see is a head. That's funny. I think he likes it.